Welcome back to another episode of How Did They Grow? I created this podcast because I wanted you to learn how other coaches, freelancers, service providers, and course sellers are growing their business, landing 10 to 20 new clients every single month, paying them 50, 100, 200K months. See, if they've done it, you can too. And that's just the reality. And I want you to listen to these podcasts to understand what strategies are they using, what techniques are they exploring, because it's in these gems that you can apply it to your business and actually scale things up. When you're ready and you feel like you actually want to learn practical, proven methodologies, or even you want to hire a team that can build you a profitable personal brand, book in a chat with our team because we can guarantee you go viral and guarantee you get clients for your business.
So welcome to the show. This is the How Did They Grow podcast. And today we have Master Phil Ross. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Phil.
Oh, thank you for having me. I can't wait to get the word out to more people, try to help them along with their journey. Well, I've been involved in the combat arts for over 50 years. I started out boxing. My grandfather was a boxing trainer, and then I got into wrestling, and I was always into fitness. I mean, when I was in second grade, I had a list of 20 exercises I did every morning. I used to run back and forth to school. I just always wanted to be in shape, and you know, when I was training, I was always thinking, hey, what's my opponent doing? Is he working as hard as me? And so it always kept me moving forward.
Yeah. Amazing. So tell us a little bit about your history in terms of why did you choose to start a business? And you said you worked a corporate job, right? So like, tell us a little bit about that and how that, you know, kind of shaped you into running a business.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, the thing is that you have to remember my age. Okay. And I'm 62 years old. And back then, like, you know, people didn't look at like a fitness job as a real job.
Yeah, back then, exactly.
Yeah, there were really no, like in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, there were really no personal trainers. That didn't come till later on in the later 80s and 90s. There weren't that many personal trainers. Like, people had gyms and did whatever. But I loved competition and fighting. And, you know, I was a Division I wrestler. And after I finished college, I wanted to do something else, but I had already started doing martial arts while I was in college, and I just continued. I still wanted to compete. I still wanted to train. I still enjoyed fighting. And I had my business on the side, and I worked in the corporate world. And just, you know, kind of fast forward it, I did that for like 19 years. And then my last job, my office was on the 25th floor of Tower 2 of the Trade Center. And we all know what happened there on 9/11. I'm one of the lucky ones. My boss told me to come in late. I was on the phone with my team, and I was about to get on the ferry to go across, and I'm looking at the tower. And my manager said, "Hey, you know, what's going on? What's going on, Phil?" I go, it looks like some idiot hit the tower with a piper. I'm looking at it. I'm literally looking at it. And then I saw the second plane hit. And I'm just like, get out. Yeah, it was crazy. And I'm certified in first aid and all that kind of stuff. So I wound up, long story short, I wound up making my way down there. I got a ride across the Perth Amboy Bridge from a cop, and then I showed my credentials and I got on a train. I went up to the Staten Island ferry, and I was helping getting people off of the ferry and onto Staten Island and so forth. And I was covered in soot and sweat and everything. It was a mess.
Yeah.
And then it was funny because I was actually going through a divorce at the time. So I was like, a whole bunch of things happened.
Yeah.
And, made me reflect a little bit. And then my job went away. And I said, look, God spared me for a reason. And I said, this is the perfect opportunity for me to go full force. So I went back to bouncing at night. And then I just sacrificed. And, you want to run your own business, you're going to have to sacrifice. And it wasn't, there's never a good time to do it. I mean, heck, I had to pay alimony, child support. And my income dropped significantly. So what I did was I had a condo. I rented that out. I was sleeping on the floor of my karate studio for months, bouncing at night, doing private lessons, and then teaching classes. And I take naps here and there. It was the point when I first started out, I had 2 personal clients and about 40 students.
What year was that?
This was 2005. 2000, 2003 into 2004. Within a year and a half, I built up my clientele to over 150 students and over 15 personal clients. Okay. Pretty
Without
good.
social media.
That was without social media. That was just with me.
Amazing. Yeah.
So then the cool thing that that I was able to do with the social media when I first came out, because I'm at the beginning of the social media craze.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, really started getting big in 2008 to 2010, and I started really leveraging it. And, I had my Facebook groups. That's what really started. I mean, I did have a MySpace, right? Yeah, that long ago. Facebook obviously took off, and then we went into Instagram and YouTube. I mean, I have some YouTube videos on there that are there for a long, long time. But I think probably my most popular YouTube video has 90,000 views on it. And I use that to get a lot of information out there. And I'll tell you, if you're talking about like doing your posts and so forth, right? You have to. I found this works best, and maybe other people find a different formula. But I say, you give 3 free things, and then you give 1 thing. Hey, buy this. So I'm using Go High Level right now. I've been using them for about 2 years. And one of the cool things with that, I don't know how many of you know about the platform, but if you do, join my affiliate program so I get something. So what you do with that, the cool thing is that I have 16 different platforms that I go out to. I have TikToks, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, so forth and so on. And I have different pages on them, right? So we have, there's different, some of them are dedicated to the Body Bell method, some of them to Survival Strong, so forth. So I have these out there. And what I do with it is I can schedule posts, right? I can schedule them out for like 6 or 8 weeks doing that post. Like I'll link it to like a YouTube video, right? So not only am I getting people on my YouTube channel, but I'm generating interest on that particular platform.
Yeah, amazing.
And the cool thing about it is that I just do 1 post and it'll go out like 70 times. And then I'll do another one the next week. So I constantly have, my videos, my information going in front of them. So that's a way that people get very familiar with you.
Yeah.
And the things that, look, the thing is that what you have to get across to people is what's the WIFM? The WIFM. Do you know what the WIFM is, Mike?
No idea.
People don't care how good you are. I'm telling you right now. Okay. Yeah. I have a lot of cool accolades, done a lot of stuff. I can still do some pretty cool stuff. I've won a ton of championships, blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You know what they care about? The WIFM, the what's in it for me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now I recognize that.
Yeah. How can, like, when they see a video that you're doing or you're putting out information, it's like, how is this going to help them achieve what they want to achieve? Are you giving them pertinent information? Hey, they want to lose weight. Are you giving them information that helps them lose weight? Hey, they want to get stronger. They want to get guns. How are they going to do that? Right. They want to know how to do it. They want to know how to feel better. They want to know how to move better. And the thing is that you have to hit on things that are going to help people at different stages of their life as well. Like, it's funny, if you look at the YouTube channel, like, I mostly appeal to guys. Okay. I told my wife she's got nothing to worry about. There's no women stalking me on YouTube because it's like 95% guys watching my stuff. So, but the thing is, and then you have to learn your audience and look at your statistics and see where you're going to target. Because the other thing is that, you have to advertise. You're not going to get away without advertising. There's very little things that generate money that don't require some type of advertising. And you want to make sure that you're getting your best ROI. Get that return on investment with your advertising, because you can pee a lot of money away, throwing good money after bad on ads that don't work.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that our ads are pointed. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll give a code, right? With like 10% off, 20% off, whatever it is. Cause I have my own supplement line, right? So it's Master Phil, Survival Strong Living. Everything's 100% natural, all made here in the US. And it's in accordance with, I mean, I don't make this stuff, obviously, it's white label, but it's to my specifications. Okay. And, I'll put a code on it, or I'll put a code on when I'm doing my body belt certification. And I can see where it's coming from with the particular code.
Yeah. So you can see like how good the ads are doing. And I'm curious, man. I'm curious, like, in terms of all this strategy, break it down for us in terms of how many times you're posting on social media, how much are you going into, the research and all that? And also, how is it working in terms of how is that looking in terms of the numbers and how it's coming in? Yeah.
Well, it's increasing. It's actually going steadily. I went, there's a lot of mechanisms you have to get in place first. People think that you're going to post a video and everyone's going to watch it, you're going to go viral. Yeah, it doesn't happen unless you're some really hot looking girl, and that's not me. So it's not going to happen. But the thing is that first I had to get everything in place. I started going with this after I closed down my gym. Well, I didn't really close in 2020. I sold it and I moved to another gym.
Okay.
And they closed. They closed the next year. So I'm like, forget it. I'm going to go online, because I already saw what I was doing online. I have a presence on Burn Along, and that I was just killing it on there during COVID, like literally killing it. I was just posting videos. People were downloading them, and I was doing great, making a lot of money. That's died down significantly. So I don't focus on that anymore. But at the time, it was very.
I'm curious, like what happened?
With Burn Along, like what happened?
Yeah.
Well, people started going back to gyms.
Well, what is Burn Along?
It's a platform for workouts, fitness.
Okay.
Yeah. So I probably have, I don't know, maybe 180 videos on there. But
people pay to watch or what?
Yeah. And I get every 3 months, I get a payment from them. Yeah, get a check. But actually, I decided to do my own. I made my own Patreon channel. So I'm like, why give them money too? So I really don't do much. I still collect checks from them, but I'm doing my own now. I started building a Patreon channel. So
amazing.
Yeah, and so I have a whole bunch of different funnels, where stuff comes in.
Amazing.
Yeah. So the things you have to build things out first.
Yeah.
So I had to get the Body Belt method. I wound up making that a registered trademark. Then I got it recognized by ACE, by NASM, by AFAA, by SCW, so forth, all these different personal training organizations, so that trainers could not only learn my system and get a posting on my site, but guess what else? They would also earn their credits and keep their licensure. Okay.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah. And then last month, I just secured the approval from the state of New Jersey for physical therapists. So there's nobody else has that distinction in kettlebells. No one. Like doctors of physical therapy come to me to get credits. How many people can say that? Like there's no one else has that. And because it was an arduous task, like I was explaining to you, it was not easy to put together. But from Bloom's theory on taxonomy on learning, which is an in-depth outcome-based learning module. Okay, like what you're getting from each different aspect of the program, and then I did 6 peer-reviewed journals. I mean, I don't know how much you know about that stuff, but peer-reviewed journal is something that's proven out. Like, they have them like for psychology, for strength and conditioning. They have them for, all types of things. And what you do is you have a study, and peers, like other doctors or trainers or therapists, they review it. Yeah. And what it adds incredible credibility to whatever you're doing. And then, of course, I had to go through the different timelines and the goals, and and like I said, it was about 70 pages of documentation. So it took me a few months to get it together. But
that's amazing. That's amazing. And you do all this. I'm like, that's amazing, man. You do all this. You still lecture, right? You said.
Yeah.
How does that? Sorry. How does that like how does that play out in terms of like you and your business coaching right now? Is that like in the forefront of your mind, the fitness coaching?
Yeah, that's actually, yeah. Because what I'm doing right now is I had to get all these things lined up. I had to get.
Okay.
I mean, I have all the video content is up there. I have a thing called Secrets, Kettlebell Secrets.
Mhm.
That's fully online. There's over 100 kettlebell movements explained and demonstrated in detail. It's available online. It's only $199. And then there's also a certification you could do with that as well. And I also have I have a whole program called Survival Strong. Another thing, all video training with that, workouts, everything, all included in the packaging. That's available now too. So everything is there now, but it took a couple years to get that, especially uploading all those videos, editing them, getting all that done, and then building the funnels. I actually built the funnels myself too. So I learned how to build funnels. So
yeah, that's amazing.
And plus, remember, I'm still working full time as a professor. So
yeah.
And what I'm actually doing, like I think I told you before, I'll be pulling back from that and focusing more on this because I have everything in place now, and it's taking me more time dedicated to producing content, following up with emails and phone calls. And I have someone working for me right now who's doing that, because I'll send all that stuff from Go High Level. So I have these, I have about 17,000 names and email addresses and cell phone numbers. Yeah, and what I do is I send out emails, and like I was telling you, like I do the same thing with the emails. Like I don't just say, "Hey, give me money, buy this." No, what I do is I say, "Hey, here's a workout, try it." Oh, here's a tip on helping shoulders. Oh, here, this helps with back pain. That's actually I'm writing a book for that right now, for the dummies people. But I give people stuff. Here's a warm up to do. Like I have this thing, total body warm up. It's with a bow staff, like a martial arts staff, a stick. You can use a dowel, anything, and it's a fantastic warm up. I do it at least once or twice a day. People use this all the time. Are you familiar with the term neutral spine?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Okay. Well, yeah, I do like little rhymes like neutral spine all the time, tighten the butt, tighten the gut. I say things like that, right? So you want to maintain a neutral spine. Why? Because if you look at your spine, how it stacks up, the vertebrae, right? When you have the little discs.
Yeah.
So if you bend it, right? If you're not neutral, what happens is you put pressure on it, that disc, you can get a herniation or a bulging disc, right?
Yeah.
Or at the least case, you can get some nerve pressure on it. So how do we avoid that? We avoid that by strengthening those muscles that align the underlying muscles. Those are called, you have three main ones that go all the way up and down your spine. They're called the erector spinae. And then you have smaller ones called the multifidi, and they connect 2 to 3 vertebrae. And, people don't see those because they're support muscles. So by maintaining that neutral spine, you're reinforcing the integrity of your spine. So you keep your spine there when you're loaded up. Listen, I don't really lift regular weights. I mostly just do kettlebells and body weight. But I was an elite level power lifter at the 181 pound weight class. No steroids, no nothing, no belts and straps and all that kind of stuff. In a competition, Reebok professional competition. I did 5 1/4 on my squat.
500?
525 pounds on a squat in a competition at 180 pounds. At 180 pounds.
Yeah, it's an animal, man.
And with a pause, bench press, 370.
Bench press, 370 pounds.
With a pause at 180 pounds, more than twice my weight. And I got long arms. I got like gorilla arms.
Yeah, you got that wingspan.
Yeah. Yeah, like I have really long arms. Like when I go, so bench pressing is harder for me because of my length of my arms.
Okay.
Yeah. My legs aren't super long, so squatting isn't as hard as that, but they're normal size. My arms are really long. Yeah. So
I think this is a kind of a like nice segue to transition into like how you've been able to use this coaching business to kind of change people's lives. You know what I mean?
I hope you're enjoying this podcast. I hope you're taking notes. I hope you're learning so much practical wisdom, because that's what I really wanted from this podcast. Now, I just want to quickly say, if you're looking for a team that can actually help you explode and go viral with your personal brand with proven methodologies, I say this because I've been doing this for the past 5 years. We've got a team of 30 people who are ready to go ahead and explode your brand so you can get clients begging to work with you. Have a chat with one of our advisors. You can book in a chat using one of the links around this video, because that chat might just change your life.
I would ask you, like, how do you usually get those clients in terms of, do you do a lot of marketing? Is it the CRM thing? Do you do like post a lot? How does that work?
Well, honestly, I can't take on any more personal clients right now. Okay. I'm booked. I'm completely booked.
Yeah.
I am booked out my behind. I'm not complaining. It's a great problem to have. People come to me now at this point because I established who I am online. I established who I am in the community, but people know me. Doctors refer me at this point. Like, I work with a lot of surgeons, orthopedics, neurosurgeons, and they send people to me. Physical therapists, they send them over to me because they know that I'm really good at the stuff like curing back pain and shoulders. I'm very, very good with that. And of course, just giving overall strength. So again, but my online presence is something that fed that. So now I'm taking it to the next level. So if you look at one of my taglines, it's I have two basic taglines, strength, self-defense, and self-reliance. Right. I'm actually doing another presentation called Self-Reliance Through Strength and Self-Defense. I'm doing that in 2 weeks. But the thing is, my other tagline is I want to help people live better longer. Live better longer. And that's my goal. Because there's so many people that are deconditioned, so many people that are in pain. And a lot of it has to do with their lack of strength and lack of mobility. And if I can give that to them, I consider that a huge bonus. Have you ever heard of the blocks?
Blocks like what? Like what?
It's a TV show on Amazon Prime.
No.
Okay. Well, I'm on. It's an entrepreneur show. I'm on season 17. It should come out this summer.
Hey, amazing.
I was the only fitness guy there. And I made the stage because you have to go through all these tests and put together your plan and so forth. But it was pretty cool. But again, I keep repeating my tagline. My goal is to help people live better longer through strength, self-defense, and self-reliance. And this is what I want to help people do because hey, how empowering is it to be strong and move well, right? Think about it.
Yeah.
No one's ever said, "Oh gosh, look at that person. Oh, I want to be like them. They're so weak." No, it said no one ever, right? Everyone wants to be like somebody who's strong, can handle stuff, can deal with adversity. And the tools that I hope to give them, because I'm also a mindset coach, so they get the mindset involved in this as well, and I just don't want them to give up on themselves. Okay? Because if you look at it this way, did you ever hear about the experiment that was done with the rat?
In terms of what particular one? A lot of experiments are done with rats.
Right. I know it's a pretty ambiguous question, but they took a rat, and the scientists took a rat and they threw him in a bucket of water, see how long he could go. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So after 15 minutes, he drowned. So now they decided to take another rat. Take the rat, they throw him in a bucket of water. He's swimming. After 15 minutes, he starts to go down. They take him out. They dry him off. And then they throw him back in again. How long do you think he lasted?
Longer.
Well, how long? Take a wild guess.
20 minutes. 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Try 24 hours.
Whoa.
He swam for 24 hours, and then they picked him up, took him out. And then they fed him to a boa constrictor. No, only kidding.
What's the point behind that? Yeah. What's the lesson?
The lesson is that he had hope and didn't give up.
And
that's why I tell people, hope. You have hope. Hold on. Possibilities exist. So if you are faced with a dire situation, you have you get a bad injury, you lose financially. You know what? Hold on. Possibility exists. Have faith in yourself. Like my friends know me because I've been there a couple times. They said, listen, if you had nothing and threw out in the middle of the street, by the end of the year, you'd own the street. You know, because it's just putting that work ethic in, right?
Yeah.
With that work ethic and never say die. And listen, we all have doubts. We always have doubts. You know, and I've had doubts with myself too. But you know what I do? I tell that little doubter to shut up. I tell that little, I'm like, hey, shut your mouth. Hey,
yeah.
Quiet. Okay? And just get back up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the same thing because you know, when you go on social media, you're gonna have haters too.
Yeah, definitely. That's one thing that comes with it.
Yeah. It's really funny because most of the time I blow them off. You know, but this one time, this guy, I was showing a knife technique. And, you know, I'm pretty good with a knife. Okay, so I've been on. I've done TV commercials. You know, I've been on television shows and so forth. And what happened was on one, this guy was saying something about how I was holding a knife incorrectly and I should have the ice pick grip, right? So I'm like, you know what? Let me entertain this guy. So I hit him up offline. I didn't do it. You know, I just messaged him. I go, you know, what makes you say that this is not proper? Because I mean, like, there's a lot of evidence that shows that having the fencing type grip is better for fighting, especially when they had that show, you know, the Deadly Warrior show. They had different army military people fighting each other, and then one where someone from the IDF had their knife like this, and the army ranger had it out here, and he destroyed him. And then the only time the guy scored points when he tried the last round, he flipped the blade around, but it was too late. He was way behind in points. So, and he goes, oh, just, you know, I was just talking to some guys and they said they like to hold it like that. So the guy knew nothing. He came from nowhere. It's like super critical of me, who's an expert. But, you know, so right then I'm like, you know, I'm never going to ever engage in idiots again because they know less than anything, you know. And here's one thing too, is I've noticed a couple of times too, is like if I have friends of mine, I see them doing improper kettlebell technique, I do not, and all you can do is to a stranger. I will not go and criticize them online because they're trying to, you know, have their business. I'll message them offline. I'll go, hey, listen, you know, I just want to try to offer you a little help here, unsolicited advice, but you know what? You might want to do this, that. If you want to discuss it any further, I'm around. Here, contact me. Yeah. Or here, maybe look at this video because I'm going to help them out. Because I want them to do it right. Because I don't want the word out there that kettlebells are no good.
Yeah, man. You sound like you're doing a lot in terms of, like you said, you're going on a TV show, you're doing the social media thing, you're doing, you know, a lot of stuff. I'm curious, like, what are your goals in 2024 in terms of your social media and your business, in terms of that fitness? Are you looking at, is that going to be like the number one thing in terms of you looking forward in 2025?
Yeah. Here's the thing. I want to convert. I want to grow more instructors in my system, because I have a system that honestly is second to none in strength and conditioning. Okay. I mean, I trained SEAL Team 6 too. So I was down there with them. I train professional football players. They're the trainers. I just got a call from another one that I'm doing right now. I know this system works. I know it works. So I want to get it to more people. And look, I'm only one person, but if I can create more instructors, that'll keep going, and which I've done. I have 18, but I need to get many more. So that's my goal. I want to grow this instructor business. Look, again, I'm booked personally. I can't do any more, right? But I'm doing seminars. 3 days I'll be down in DC. I'm doing it there. Then I come back, and then that Friday I'm doing another one in New Jersey, and then I go to Florida. You know, and then I go to Florida again in May, and then I'm going to LA. So I'm booked for these seminars and presentations, which is going to help me grow the instructorship. And I'm actually trying something. I've never done this before, Mike, but I'm going to give it a shot. I'm doing an online live Zoom certification. So, you know, it's an 8-hour certification. I figured that's way too long to be on Zoom. So what I've done is I've broken it up over 4 days on 2 weekends, 2 hours a day. I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah, it's a good idea, man.
Thanks. Yeah, because I have people know me all over the world. I mean, I have people that do my training in Australia, South Africa, Korea. I've done seminars in Italy, Brazil, Canada, you name it. And of course in the US. So, I'm getting it out there on social media right now.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And growing that, what did you call it? You're experts on your team, right? That must also come with like reaching in terms of like getting that message out there. What's the plan in terms of 2025 to get that message out there to as many people as possible? You're going to focus more on that CRM. What's the message? What's the plan looking like?
Well, I'm doing the CRM. The thing is that you want to do multiple prongs. So I got the customer retention management. I got my, I have these email lists, and I have emails going out, and then I have my virtual assistant. She's contacting them and either sending them another email after she speaks with them, or whatever. Because I hear most of the time, if you get an unsolicited email, what do? You delete it, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? So I might just call them and say, "Hey, listen, did you get the email we sent? Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay. This is what it's about. Oh, here, can I send it to you?" Now they're going to look for it.
Yeah, makes sense.
So you're going cold, but you're not really going in cold, because you do have an entree, right? And then on my websites, they have all my social media accounts listed, because what does that do? That validates you. When they see me slinging kettlebells, throwing a punch, doing footwork, whatever, I might be doing a knife technique, might be doing a calisthenic, might be doing some dynamic tension, whatever it is, they see it. That's why it's so important to have good content on your social media accounts, because you have that good content there. It's like your calling card. People can see you. They look at you all the time. They're going to say, "Hey, is this guy any good?" And here's something I just found that I think will help guys. I used to do like an introduction. I'm not doing an introduction anymore.
You mean like, "Hey, my name is Phil"?
Well, I say, "Hey, greetings. Here's what we're going to do." Right. So what I'm doing something different. What I'm doing, I'm just doing it, and then I talk about it. I show them what I did. Do the action, because listen, people have the attention span of a gnat, right?
Yeah.
So they want to see action. So if they see me slinging a kettlebell, or doing some footwork with some kicks, or doing some knife work or something, right? That will catch their eye.
Their attention. Yeah.
Another thing you have to do too. You have YouTube. You have to have thumbnails. And the other thing is that you make a short too. People love shorts, and then attach the short to the longer video. So YouTube enables you to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It says, associated with what, and you just click onto that. And the other thing is that, especially on the shorts, use music that's available, because the cool thing is that when you use music from somebody else, then your video actually goes with their
audience.
Yeah. So that's another way to get free advertising.
That's amazing. You're giving us all this sauce on social media. It's really amazing. I'm sure the audience is loving it. One thing I want to ask is, like, you doing all this, like, what is the one thing that you think is holding you back in terms of doing more?
The only thing right now is just allocation of funds. Everything costs money, and I operate on a budget, but I'm completely self-financed. I've never had backers. Everything I did, I've done on my own. And the thing is that, see, I was just talking to this other kid. Actually, I trained him in wrestling. He was one of my wrestling athletes when I was coaching, and he had a very successful spa business. And then he brought on these angel investors, and they opened up more of them, right? And then things went belly up. Now he's on his own again, and he's building up his facility. I'm going to help him out a little bit there. I'm going to make it'll be a Body Build Method, home base. I'll do seminars out of there. But things don't work out with the angel investors, because the thing is that, and I learned this also when I was on that show, on the Block show, because look, if this was something that was a quick turnaround, then like a software program or something else like that, or like a product, like, I don't know, like hot sauce or something, or whatever, you could grow it pretty quickly. But a fitness instruction, like what I'm doing, is not going to be built quick. So these guys are going to have their money out there for a while, and they're going to want their money back, and they're going to want to see, the growth, and they want to see that return.
Yeah.
And the return generally is not that fast. In a fitness, look, if you're just doing some garbage system which doesn't work and is going to hurt people, yeah, sure. But my system is very specific and pointed, and it takes a level of expertise in order to deliver this material. So I have to develop these instructors properly. That's why when someone signs up as an instructor with me, if they say, oh yeah, they join up the course, they immediately get a code and they get access to all the video training materials. They're prepared, and then as long as they're in my system, they have a presence on my website. They are on my WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
And they also have access to the training videos as long as they're a registered member.
Yeah. That's amazing in terms of you providing that much value, Yeah,
that's the thing. You got to provide value. And look, you don't give stuff away, but you have to establish that rapport and that level of expertise. Yeah. And people want someone who's real too.
Yeah.
I come from the martial arts world, and even like in the fitness world, like people act like so aloof and this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
And they act like they're like mystical, some magic. There's nothing to it, man. It's just like you just got to work hard. Sure, you have to have some reasonable athletic ability, but the thing is that you train hard and you train with purpose and you do sound technique, and everything's going to work out. And things just got to get that out to people. And
at the end of the
have
day,
to be
if
accessible.
you're someone with, I was saying at the end of the day,
you want to be accessible, and people want to. No, go ahead. Yeah, you froze up a little bit.
Okay. Can you see me now?
Yeah. You froze up a little bit. Yeah. You're saying something at the end of the day, you froze up again.
Okay, my bad. Oh yeah, I was saying like at the end of the day, like people, as long as you're someone with value and you know what you're talking about and you give away that value, the people are gonna find you. People are gonna find you, and they're gonna connect with you, and they're gonna work with you.
Yeah. That's the thing. And again, that accessibility and the realism. You want to be accessible to people. And you have to establish that. When you can establish that in your videos, the other thing is that, use a little comedy in the videos too. Don't have to be like all hardcore all the time when you're doing things. Sometimes, you have to be serious, but then there are times that, you have to have fun with it as well. That's
amazing.
Have fun with it.
One thing I would say to kind of round it.
I'm sorry, but
yeah, definitely. It's your passion. Exactly. You have to have fun with it. It's your passion.
Absolutely.
Did you get that? Yeah.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. And you have to have a sign off. Yeah. You have to have a sign off. Like mine is strength and honor.
Definitely.
My son and I always used to do that. When he was competing, I'd grab arms, put heads together, strength and honor, and it was fun because he got to see me compete too. When I competed the last time in the national jiu-jitsu tournament. A lot of fun. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, why don't we just kind of end on this and say, like, let's say, what is one thing you wish I asked you on this podcast?
Wow. I think we touched on it, but then we got off on a tangent. But the one thing was just, I have specific instances of people that I've helped out, and I'll just relay one real quick story. I had this young man come to me. His mother called me up, found me on social media. Okay. Young guy, athlete, 24 years old, graduated, went to Penn State, got his master's locally. But the kid hadn't been able to work out and do sports in over 2 years. Been to doctors, therapists, everyone. Nobody fixed him. Nobody helped him. Okay.
What was his goal? What was he trying to get to?
Be able to walk.
Okay.
Yeah. He wanted to play sports again. He wanted to play sports again. Played baseball, soccer. You know, he played competitively. You know, I mean, he's a tall kid, like strong, like he was, and he was like soft, out of condition, depressed, and everything. Right. Well, he came to me, and within 10 sessions now, he's been trying for 2 years. In 10 sessions, he was back playing baseball and soccer. And then 10 more sessions, he fell in love with my method. He actually became an instructor. He took my certification and became an instructor.
Amazing.
And the guy now teaches other people. You see what I'm talking about? This is what I want to do. I want to spread this word to other people. I got to get these instructors trained up right so they get out there and help other people.
Amazing. That's amazing. Let me just end on this and say, where can the people go to find out and learn more about your work?
Okay. I'm all over the place. But if you go to philross.com or thebodybuildmethod.com, you have links to all of my different social media outlets. I'm on YouTube at the Master Phil. Don't forget, like, subscribe, watch often. I'm on Instagram at the Master Phil. I'm on LinkedIn. But all those links are on my channels, on my websites. philross.com and thebodybuildmethod.com. And you guys hit me up, ask me questions. I even have a bot on my philross.com. There's a bot on that to ask questions. So
that's amazing.
Well, I want to thank you for having me on, and I want to wish everyone the best of luck in their pursuit, and just be consistent with your messaging on social media. And have fun with it, guys. All right? Strength and honor.
Strength and honor.
I really hope you enjoyed this podcast. I want you to go away and execute everything there is that you've learned. Now, one thing I will say is if you're in a position where you're ready to actually take things to another level, you want structured, clear guidance, you want a team that can actually help accelerate you, book in a chat with our advisors. Why? We can blow up your personal brand to attract clients begging to work with you. All you got to do is book in a chat with our advisors and we can help make it happen. Sound fair enough?